service and visible business performance from our affiliates. In addition, thanks to the ongoing company-wide cost optimization efforts initiated last year, operating profit also reached an all-time high. With a stable financial structure now in place, we will begin sequentially launching various new services starting in Q3, focused on our two key pillars, Kakao Talk and AI, to once again deliver the kind of top-line growth expected of a leading growth company. Let me begin by sharing updates on Kakao Talk's transformation. Rather than chasing short-term trends, Kakao has been deeply analyzing user behavior data from a long-term perspective. As a result, we are now preparing a large-scale overhaul of services and feature enhancements across all 5 tabs of Kakao Talk. From a UI/UX standpoint, we are working to enhance consistency and natural connections between various services. By eliminating unnecessary complexity, we aim to deliver a more intuitive and seamless service experience. As we've consistently communicated with the capital market, Kakao Talk is evolving beyond a simple messenger. It will grow into a platform encompassing content delivery, exploration, and relationship-based social features. Starting in September and continuing through the end of the year, new services will be launched sequentially. Today, I would like to briefly introduce the changes coming to the first and third tabs, key pillars of these renewals, which will serve as most critical turning points for expanding Kakao Talk's traffic structure and user time spent. First, the Friends tab, which is the first tab in Kakao Talk, will evolve from a simple contact list into a feed-based space for daily live sharing. After the renewal, the frequently used updated profile features will be improved and a new feed section will be added below. This section will highlight birthday friends, daily live content shared by friends, and media content such as photos and videos from group chats. We plan to turn this into a space where users can continuously consume and interact with various relationship-based content. Based on our internal analysis, an average of 13.4 million monthly users actively update their profile and checked in on friends updates via Kakao Talk. We believe this clearly shows that social needs within the app are already well established. By making it easier to view friends' updates in a single depth through this renewal, we expect to see a significant boost in natural interaction within the Friend tab and improved convenience and usability of the service. Looking at the bigger picture, the Friends tab, which has largely functioned as a contact list for purposeful traffic, will now become a space where users can casually visit, explore, and discover various content from their daily lives. Next, I will update you on the status of a short-form video service planned for the third tab. For this, we are diversifying content sourcing channels and building a studio environment that enable creators to easily produce content. Additionally, we plan to secure both exclusive content available only on Kakao and original content produced using the capabilities of Kakao's affiliate in order to build a rich and differentiated content library. We are also preparing a revenue-sharing ecosystem where creators are fairly compensated for their work, ensuring sustained creative activity. Kakao's short-form video service will leverage the strength of the messenger, enabling users to share videos directly within chat rooms and watch them without leaving the conversation, delivering a seamless user experience. This network-based virality will serve as a key competitive edge in rapidly scaling the creator ecosystem. Going further, Kakao aims to provide a differentiated experience by focusing on relationships and context, rather than following the path of explore-driven or self-promotional media platforms. We are designing Kakao Talk to naturally connect and not only close relationships, but also looser ties, expanding the network from friends to creators. This way, content consumption will evolve beyond passive viewing into relationship-based discovery. The transformations I've briefly explained today for the first and third tabs will be revealed in more detail, including the visual and functional design at the If Kakao event scheduled for September. In last quarter's earnings call, we shared our goal to increase time spent on Kakao Talk by over 20% through this renewal and to drive more than 10% year-over-year growth in Talk Biz ad revenue in Q4. These are not just stretch goals, but must-achieve targets based on conservative pre-launch assumptions. Once we validate strong early results, we plan to actively pursue more ambitious growth strategies. Above all, we believe this Q4 double-digit growth will mark the starting point of long-term structural improvements, not just a one-off success. We will continue to build a virtuous cycle where traffic growth on Kakao Talk naturally leads to monetization. Next, I'd like to talk about AI, the other core pillar of Kakao Group's business. As mentioned earlier this year, Kakao's goal is to bring AI into the daily lives of everyone. Over the years, Kakao has transformed daily lives across various verticals, starting with Kakao Talk, expanding into fintech, mobility, and content. As a result, many of Kakao's services have become deeply embedded in users' everyday routines. Beginning in the second half of this year, Kakao aims to build daily AI touchpoints centered around Kakao Talk, and once again, we intend to redefine daily life with AI for everyone. Until now, many may have associated Kanana solely with the standalone app currently in CBT. Going forward, however, we've decided to brand all AI-related elements under the name Kanana. This includes infrastructure, language models, middle layer components like MCP and agents, and even B2C AI services directly experienced by users. Just like the Kakao Talk renewal, the If Kakao event scheduled for September will provide concrete visualization of various Kanana services that we've described only verbally so far. Starting in October, we will begin launching these services sequentially. First, the joint product being co-developed with OpenAI is being prepared with urgency as the release date is drawing near. Our goal is to build on the familiar ChatGPT user experience while adding Kakao's unique assets and insights into Korean users. As previously mentioned, we will reveal the product's forms and features at the If Kakao event, and at the latest, before our next earnings call, we expect that all of you will be able to try the product yourselves. For the second half of the year, we anticipate that the world's largest AI services and Kakao's most powerful mobile platform will come together, enable Kakao to quickly gain ground in the Korean B2C AI market. In parallel, we are also preparing AI services that operate within Kakao Talk, especially in the context of conversation based on relationships, which is at the core of Talk experience. Rather than functioning as a standalone service occupying a fixed space, these AI services will act more like a middle layer operating across various areas in Kakao Talk to recommend context-aware actions aligned with the user's intent. Eventually, these actions will be completed seamlessly within the app. The service will be powered by Kakao's in-house SLM on-device AI model, which will allow user data to be managed with the highest level of privacy and at the same time significantly reduce large-scale inferencing costs on our end. Excluding a few mobile device manufacturers, Kakao's will be the first in Korea to launch an on-device model. We will start with a small-scale launch to gather early feedback and prepare for a broader deployment as this technology becomes mainstream. Lastly, we are preparing to build an AI agent platform ecosystem. In the past, mobile ecosystems center around apps, requiring users to manually visit each app to fulfill specific tasks. Now, as protocols like MCP and agent-to-agent interactions become more common, users will be able to access services and achieve their goals without needing to open separate apps by interacting with agents instead. Just as Kakao played a central role in the mobile era, we aim to be a powerful platform player in the agent era. We will begin laying the foundation for this ecosystem starting in the second half of the year. Initially, users will experience agents within Kakao Talk that connect with selected Kakao-owned services. Later, we plan to integrate with a wider range of verticals, working with both Kakao affiliates and external partners. On the model side, in May, we've revealed both the medium-sized and SLM versions of our proprietary Kanana 1.5 language model. The SLM version in particular is optimized for on-device environments with 2.1 billion parameters, enabling fast and efficient responses. This model is a key component powering the new AI services within Kakao Talk. In July, we also released our multimodal model and mixture of experts MOE model. As AI continues to evolve around into agent capable of autonomous decision-making and action, we've open-sourced our MOE models to receive real-world validation. Meanwhile, our 1.5 version multimodal achieved top scores among similarly sized open models in both Korea and abroad based on Korean language benchmarks. Kakao's focus is on enhancing AI multimodal understanding, user instruction execution, and inference capabilities, all necessary for building agentic AI. In the second half, we will also announce results related to our inference model, which is core requirement for enabling agent-like behavior. With a specialized model lineup built for agents and Kakao Talk's unmatched messaging protocol capabilities, we are confident that Kakao will be the strongest platform within the agentic AI ecosystem, especially as agent-to-AI interactions become more widespread. Finally, regarding infrastructure, as announced in June, Kakao will invest 600 Korean billion won to construct a second data center in Namyangju, Gyeonggi-do Province. Construction will begin next year with a completion targeted for 2029. This will be the next generation high-density data center capable of supporting AI and future technology. As data security and service reliability grow increasingly important, this move will shift us away from rented data centers towards operating our own infrastructure, enabling both greater control and cost efficiency in the long term. We believe 2025 marks the beginning of Kakao's full-scale AI transformation. As the first mover in the mobile era, Kakao successfully built ecosystem across numerous verticals. Now, we aim to launch a series of AI services on Kakao's most dominant mobile platform, becoming the first B2C AI provider serving the general public. Moreover, by being the first company in Korea, excluding device manufacturing, to launch on-device AI, we plan to once again seize a first-mover advantage in the AI era.
Next, Jaden, our CFO, will present the second quarter 2025 financial highlights. This is Jaden, Kakao CFO. I'll be presenting on consolidated financials for the second quarter. Consolidated revenue for the second quarter came in at 2,028 billion won, up 1% YOY and 9% QOQ. Platform revenue was 1,055 billion won, rising 10% YOY and 6% QOQ. Kakao's core business, TalkBiz, reported 542 billion won in revenue, up 7% YOY but down 2% QOQ. TalkBiz ad revenue for the second quarter was 321 billion won, going up 4% YOY, driven by solid growth in business messaging, and up 12% QOQ due to seasonality. Business messaging revenue rose to 16% YOY, sustaining a double-digit growth on greater revenue contribution from advertisers in the financial sector. We are expanding the scope of usage and types of messages that advertisers can send by offering wide-ranging templates. We thus expect there still is greater mid to long-term upside in top-line revenue. Also, our brand message that rolled out mid-May has driven high ad efficiency metrics thanks to strong message delivery rate and clear sender identification feature. And the recipient need not be concerned about the risk of smishing when receiving the message, so we expect robust growth will continue in the second half, underpinned by broader service awareness. For display ads, there was 5% YOY revenue decline due to the base effect from first half of last year when there was a temporary surge in marketing spend by Chinese e-commerce players. Our plan, thus, is to strengthen the new product lineup, including in-feed ads and video ads, in time for the upcoming Kakao Talk revamp in September, and also continue with enhancing the efficiency of the current suite of products. Next, our second quarter combined commerce GMV was 2.5 trillion won, up 6% YOY and down 4% QOQ. Gift service achieved record high traffic in July, backed by a differentiated lineup of exclusive products, the launch of dedicated section for self-use purchases, and strengthened daily promotions featuring new limited edition items. As a result, the number of self-purchase users rose 10% YOY, driving a 43% YOY increase in self-purchase GMV, which in turn led to overall GMV growth. Total GMV for the gift service also grew 8% YOY. GMV for self-purchasing showed sizable growth of 43% YOY, driving the entire GMV uptrend, while Talk Gift GMV increased 8% YOY. Next, our commerce revenue reported 221 billion won, up 10% YOY, and fell 17% QOQ due to seasonality of Talk Gift. Talk Gift revenue rose 13% YOY, backed by a higher share of directly sourced exclusive products and increased transactions of high-value vouchers, which in turn led to a rise in average order value. Meanwhile, Talk Store revenue declined 6% YOY, impacted by extended promotional activities. Next, our portal revenue was down 11% YOY on the back of decline in search queries and following preparation for a swift transfer of business. In regards to QOQ, it was up 6% to 78 billion won due to the impact of major events such as the presidential election. We plan to transfer business operations to the new entity AXZ by the end of the year. Finally, our platform and other revenue was up 21% YOY and 19% QOQ to 435 billion won. Kakao Mobility saw solid YOY growth as parking and quick delivery business expansion drove total top-line uptrend. Also, supported by high growth from financial and platform services and cost efficiency, Kakao Pay reported a double-digit revenue growth YOY, sustaining the profit-making streak for 2 consecutive quarters. Now moving on to our content business, which recorded 973 billion won in revenue, down 7% YOY, but up 12% QOQ. First, our story business revenue in quarter 2 was up 1% YOY and 3% QOQ to 219 billion won. Amid fierce competition, Kakao has been focusing on laying the basis for sustainable growth by strengthening core competitiveness of its IP content. So despite the Golden Week holidays being the busiest season of the year, Kakao maintained efficient marketing execution, a shift from previous years, and as a result, achieved its highest ever quarterly operating profit. On the backdrop of slowing growth of the market, Kakao Entertainment's story business is maintaining a key focus on profitability. We are in the midst of reorganizing our global strategy to build a more competitive and agile story IP business. Overall, we expect for the story business to gradually drive results from the efforts placed behind enhancing IP competitiveness as we move into the second half of the year. We will continue to diversify our IP pipeline, sourcing compelling content across a wide-ranging genre, while actively broadening the user pool through strategic marketing. Next, our music revenue was up 1% YOY and 18% QOQ, reporting 518 billion won. Performance was driven by good album sales of Rise and NCT Wish, despite the slump in the music label market. With anchor IP activities and new artist debuts scheduled for the third quarter, we plan to further strengthen our lineup. Lastly, media revenue was up 5% YOY and 25% QOQ to 94 billion won. This is due to revenue recognition of titles carried over from the previous quarter and concentration of production activities during the first half of the year. Moving on to our operating expenses. Second quarter operating expense was up 5% QOQ, but fell 2% YOY, reporting 1,842 billion won. Labor costs edged up 2% both YOY and QOQ, reaching 489 billion won. Corporate-wide, we continued our stance with conservative hiring, resulting in a flat YOY. Marketing expense declined 19% YOY, while flat QOQ at 88 billion won, accounting for 4.3% of quarter two consolidated revenue as we continued our focus on efficient spending. Revenue-linked expenses decreased 10% YOY on high base effects following reclassification of subsidiary accounts, but rose 2% QOQ at 717 billion won due to rise in revenue from content business, accounting for 35% of consolidated revenue. Outsourced and infrastructure expense was 233 billion won, up 19% YOY and 13% QOQ on the back of account reclassification and rise in costs following strong album sales at SM Entertainment. Depreciation and amortization was 220 billion won, up 7% YOY and 8% QOQ due to Kakao Entertainment amortization of license rights and consolidation of Dear You, which led to an increase in amortization for intangible assets. As a result, quarter two consolidated operating profit recorded 186 billion won, with OP margin improving by 2.5 points YOY to 9.2%. Going forward, based on optimized operational leverage, we will do our utmost to sustain structural profitability. Next, non-operating income for quarter two fell 22 billion YOY and 78 billion QOQ to 9 billion won. Other non-operating income was 3 billion won, up 4 billion won YOY, but down 73 billion won QOQ. This was due to a high base in the previous quarter from equity method gains related to the sale of Dear You, and also reflects a loss from the disposal of intangible assets in other businesses during quarter two. Financial loss came in at 175 billion won. The loss increased 217 billion won YOY due to a decline in FX gains from the early redemption of exchangeable bonds that narrowed 49 billion won QoQ. Lastly, equity method income was 235 billion won, down 44 billion won YoY and 108 billion won QoQ, reflecting changes in affiliate performance. Next, our second quarter corporate income tax reflects adjustment effects from the recognition of additional deferred tax assets, resulting in consolidated net profit of 172 billion won. Lastly, on CAPEX, total CAPEX for quarter 2 was 98 billion won, comprising of 72 billion won investment in tangible assets and 26 billion won CAPEX for intangibles. CAPEX decreased 72 billion won YoY and 41 billion won QoQ, mainly due to the base effect from in-house data center investments made last year and large-scale AI investments, including GPUs, in the previous quarter. This ends the presentation on quarter 2 2025 earnings. We will now move on to Q&A. Because we have limited time, please we ask that you refrain from asking more than 2 questions.
지금부터 질의응답을 시작하겠습니다. 질문을 하실 분은 전화기 버튼에 별표와 1번을 누르시기 바랍니다. 질문을 취소하시려면 별표와 2번을 누르시면 됩니다.
Now Q&A session will begin. Please press star 1, that is star and 1, if you have any questions. Questions will be taken according to the order you have pressed the number star 1. For cancellation, please press star 2, that is star and 2 on your phone.
처음으로 질문해 주실 분은 골드만삭스의 에릭 차 님입니다.
The first question will be provided by Eric Cha from Goldman Sachs. Please go ahead with your question.
안녕하세요. 질문 기회 감사합니다. 2가지 질문이 있는데요. 첫 번째 질문은 정부가 주도하는 독자 AI 파운데이션 모델 프로젝트에 관련해서 소위 정예 팀 리스트에 있는 카카오가 이름을 못 올렸는데요. 카카오가 추구하고 있는 AI 서비스 전략과 정부 주도의 소버린 AI와 어떤 차이가 있는지 궁금합니다. 그리고 2번째 질문은 이제 앞으로 카카오 AI 서비스가 출시될 텐데 이미 여러 글로벌 AI 서비스가 현재 존재하는 상황에서 유저들에게 어떤 가치를 추가적으로 제공을 해서 유저들로 하여금 카카오 버전의 AI 서비스를 쓰게끔 유도할 수 있으실지 궁금합니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you for taking my question. I would like to ask 2 questions. The first one has to do with the government's recent initiative to undertake the AI foundational model, and there were a short list of private companies that will join in on that effort, but Kakao's name was not on that list. So my question is, I would like to understand what the difference is between the government-led sovereign AI strategy compared to Kakao's AI strategy. Second question, I understand that you will soon be launching your AI services. Already out there in the market, there are multiple AI-driven services that's being provided. Would like to understand as to what your differentiating point is for you to attract the users to your AI service.
네, 질문 감사합니다. 이 부분은 제가 답변드리겠습니다. 정부에서 최근 언급하고 있는 소버린 AI 방향성과 카카오 AI 전략은 결국 하나의 방향으로 수렴하고 있다고 생각합니다. 바로 AI를 서비스로 확장하고 또 모두가 쉽게 접근할 수 있는 모두의 AI로 제공하는 것에 다 맞닿아 있다고 생각을 하는데요. 카카오는 단순히 모델 개발에만 그치지 않고 서비스로서의 소버린 AI에 집중하는 것이 중요한 전략 포인트라고 보고 있습니다. 지금 이 순간에도 글로벌 AI 서비스들이 이용자 경험과 인게이지먼트를 빠르게 흡수해 나가고 있는 상황에서 카카오는 앞선 기술을 신속하게 도입하면서 이를 국내 서비스에 통합해서 락인하는 전략을 추진하고 있습니다.
Yes, hello, this is Sheena. I will respond to that question. The way we see it is that the government's sovereign AI direction and Kakao's AI strategy are both aligned towards expanding AI into the domains of services and providing AI for everyone for universal and ease of access. We think focusing on sovereign AI is an important strategic point beyond simple model development. Global AI service providers, as you know, are very quickly taking hold of user experience and user engagement as we speak. So Kakao is moving fast to adopt advanced technology to integrate such technology to domestic services to strengthen the lock-in effect.
특히 고성능 SLM과 멀티모달 모델이나 그리고 MOE 모델까지 AI 에이전트 서비스와의 특화된 언어 모델에 대한 투자를 이어가고 있습니다. 카카오는 올 하반기부터 시작해서 카카오톡을 구심점으로 경량한 모델을 활용하여서 여러 AI 서비스를 출시하고 이용자들이 일상 생활 속에서 더욱 친숙하게 AI 서비스를 경험할 수 있도록 에이전틱 AI 생태계 확장을 본격적으로 시작합니다.
So in that vein, we're investing into high-performance SLMs, multimodal models, and MOE models as well, investing into language models that are specialized for agentic AI services. Starting the second half, underpinned by Kakao Talk as our key pillar, we will be leveraging lightweight models, the SLM models, to introduce and launch wide-ranging services, thereby expanding the agentic AI ecosystem, enabling users to familiarize themselves with and experience AI services.
모델 관점을 좀 설명드리고 싶은데요. 카카오가 지속적으로 강조해온 모델의 전략이 오케스트레이션 전략입니다. 이것은 외부 협업과 내부 자립을 병행하는 방식입니다. 사용자의 질문에 따라서 난이도에 따라서 모델을 꼭 LLM을 쓸 필요가 없기 때문에 해당 질문에 따라 최적화된 모델을 활용한다는 방식으로 생각을 해주시면 되겠습니다. 향후 카카오의 소버린 AI 모델의 성능이 고도화되면 또 이를 협업하는 서비스나 아니면 우리의 내부 서비스에 계속 적극 도입해 가면서 국내 AI 생태계 활성화와 기술 주권 확보에도 기여하고자 합니다.
Also, model orchestration, if I were to just talk about from the model perspective, which we've been pushing forward, is a strategy where collaboration with the outside partner and the internal development are leveraged in parallel. So depending on the type of the query or the question or the level of complexity or difficulty, you do not necessarily need to always be using the LLMs. So optimization is an important element to be mindful of. So once the model performance of Kakao Sovereign AI is well enhanced and polished, we will be integrating such capabilities into our services to facilitate the formation of domestic AI ecosystem and contribute to technology sovereignty.
카카오는 지금까지 사람들의 삶을 변화시키면서 상상조차 못했던 미래를 현실로 만들어 왔습니다. 올 하반기를 기점으로 다시 한번 AI를 통해 국민 모두의 일상을 혁신하고 보다 빠른 AI 기본 사이로의 전환을 이끌어가는 게 저희의 목표이고 이것이 소버레인 AI 전략과도 맞닿아 있다고 생각합니다.
So we brought to life the future that was beyond our imaginations at Kakao by transforming people's everyday lives. In that sense, second half of the year will be another turning point for us, where we once again bring innovation to people's everyday lives, being a torchbearer of transformation towards AI-based basic society. That basically is the goal that we have at Kakao, and we believe that in that sense we are aligned with sovereign AI.
네, 다음으로 챗GPT 별도 서비스와의 카니발라이제이션이나 아니면 이용자에 대한 베니핏에 대해서 질문을 주신 걸로 이해하는데요. 현재 내부적으로는 챗GPT 별도 서비스와의 카니발라이제이션 가능성에 대해 크게 우려하고 있지는 않습니다. 카카오와 오픈 AI가 추구하고자 하는 방향성은 전 국민을 대상으로 AI 서비스를 대중화하는 것입니다. 다만 5천만 명의 이용자들은 각각 AI에 대한 이해도와 수용도가 다르다고 봅니다. 그래서 하나의 서비스만으로는 다소 달성하기 어려운 목표일 수 있다고 생각하고 있습니다. 예를 들어서 웹 환경에서는 복잡한 리서치를 목적으로 하는 사용자가 있을 수 있고, 또 모바일 환경에서는 가볍게 정보를 검색하려는 이용자가 많을 수도 있습니다. 또한 어떤 사람에 따라서도 사용하는 방법이 달라질 수 있습니다. 이러한 관점에서 볼 때 챗GPT 별도 서비스와 양사가 구현하려는 서비스는 타겟팅하는 이용자 세그먼트가 다르고 오히려 합쳐지면 그 합집합이 커질 것으로 생각합니다.
Responding to your question about potential cannibalization with other services like ChatGPT and the potential for there being any undermining of user experience, my answer is this. Currently, we do not have any significant concern internally about potential cannibalization with the standalone ChatGPT service. The direction that Kakao and OpenAI are jointly pursuing is to popularize AI services for the entire population. However, given that Korea's 50 million users vary widely in terms of their understanding and acceptance of AI, we believe this goal may be difficult to achieve through a single service alone. For example, on the web, some users may seek to conduct complex research, whereas in the mobile environment, many users may simply want to look up quick information. From this perspective, we expect that the standalone ChatGPT service and the AI service that we are jointly developing will target different user segments.
뿐만 아니라 그동안 AI 서비스 경험이 없던 이용자들도 많이 있다고 생각합니다. 이런 이용자들을 대상으로 친구와의 채팅 중에 챗GPT 검색 결과를 공유받거나 하루에도 수십 번 접속하는 핵심 지면에서 챗GPT와 마주하게 되면 자연스럽게 관심을 가지고 유입되는 낙수 효과 역시 기대할 수 있습니다. 또한 AI 활용에 익숙하지 않은 이용자들도 쉽게 사용할 수 있도록 사용자 경험 측면에서 많은 고민을 하며 서비스를 구축하고 있습니다.
In addition, we anticipate a trickle-down effect where users with no prior AI experience may naturally become interested and begin using the service when ChatGPT results are shared during conversations with friends or when they encounter ChatGPT on course surfaces they visit on the multiple times a day. We are also putting significant thought into the UI and UX design to ensure that even users who are unfamiliar with AI can use the service easily.
이런 관점에서 즉 AI의 사용성과 수용도에 대한 관점이 각각 다르다고 볼 때 기존의 챗GPT 서비스와 양사가 함께 공동 개발하고 있는 협업 서비스는 상호 지원되는 설계 과정을 거치고 있어서 카니발라이제이션보다는 이용자의 합집합을 키워나가는 형태가 될 것이라고 기대하고 있습니다.
Lastly, since the standalone ChatGPT service and the code-developed service by both companies will be designed to support each other, we expect that rather than causing cannibalization, the two services will work together to expand the overall user base.
현재 양사는 이용자의 경험 최적화에 집중하면서 최대한 서비스를 확산성 있게 제공하기 위해 긴밀하게 협업 중에 있습니다. 기존의 챗GPT에서도 무료로 제공하는 기능이 있듯이 카카오에서도 이용자들이 최대한 AI를 부담 없이 자유자재로 활용할 수 있게 하면서 생태계 내 새로운 형태의 유저 행동을 습관화할 수 있도록 설계해 나갈 것입니다.
Both companies are working closely to optimize the user experience by ensuring broad accessibility at scale. ChatGPT also provides some level of free functionality, and Kakao too will build service in a way that maximizes ease of access and usage flexibility, targeting to embed habituation of new user experience in Kakao's ecosystem.
다음 질문 받겠습니다.
Next question, please.
다음으로 질문해 주실 분은 CGSI의 김진우 님입니다.
The following question will be presented by Jinwoo Kim from CGSI. Please go ahead with your question.
네, 질문 기회 감사합니다. 우선은 호실적 축하드리고요. 우선 2분기부터 좀 궁금한데 저희가 지금 시장 시정치보다 굉장히 상회하는 실적이 나왔는데 혹시 주요 배경이 뭔지 그리고 관련해서 일회성 요인들이 포함되어 있었는지가 궁금하고요. 다음은 하반기 관련된 질문인데, 뭐 종속회사가 여기서 한 번 더 이익을 크게 개선할 수 있다거나, 혹은 다른 사업부에서 이익 개선세가 2분기에 보여주셨던 게 지속될 수 있을지 하반기 관련해서 가이던스 주실 만한 내용 있으면 공유 부탁드리겠습니다. 이상입니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you for taking my question, and congratulations on good results this quarter. My first question relates to your second quarter results. You've outperformed the market projection. Would like to know as to what the key reasons behind that is, and also are there any one-off elements that impacted the second quarter results? Second question is on your second half of the year. We've seen some elevated performances coming through from your subsidiaries. Do you think that improvement will continue as you move into the second half of the year? So if you could provide some color on the second half guidance, that would be appreciated.
예, 그 2분기 실적이 좋았던 배경 그리고 3분기 전망에 대해서 좀 제가 간략하게 좀 말씀드리겠습니다. 우선 2분기 그 호실적에 대한 그 배경으로 보시면 될 것 같은데요. 2분기에는 계열사의 사업적 개선 성과들이 가시화되면서 그 역대 분기 최대 매출을 기록함과 동시에 그룹 전반에 걸쳐 비용 구조를 점검하고 개선하면서 그 운영 효율성을 제고한 결과, 그 결과로서 영업이익 역시 그 역대 분기 최대를 달성하였습니다. 작년부터 이어져 온 그룹 차원에서의 비용 최적화 노력에 대한 결실이 나타난 것으로 보고 있고, 매출 영향은 제한적이면서 수익성은 큰 폭으로 개선된 만큼 효율적으로 체질 강화에 성공했다고 판단하고 있습니다.
Hello, this is the CFO responding to your question about the key drivers behind the second quarter performance and the outlook as we move into the third quarter. First, if you look at the second quarter, basically driven by improvements from subsidiary performance coming through, we reported record high quarterly revenue. And as we went through optimization of the cost base across the greater group, we also made enhancements and drove up operational efficiency. We were thus able to drive quarterly record in terms of operating profit as well. This actually is the outcome of group-wide effort towards cost optimization. We were able to control the top-line impact while significantly improving the profit. We believe this was a successful attempt at strengthening the fundamentals through efficient means.
먼저 핵심 사업인 광고와 커머스는 견조한 성장세를 이어가면서 전년 동기 대비 그리고 전 분기 대비 이익 기여도가 지속 확대되고 있습니다. 또 카카오페이 또한 신사업 성장이 궤도에 오르면서 증권과 보험을 중심으로 매출이 견조하게 성장하는 동시에 비용 효율화를 통해 수익성 개선이 이어지고 있습니다.
And first looking at our core businesses, ad and commerce continued their solid growth, growing profit contribution year over year and Q on Q as well. And Kakao Pay's new businesses are well in the growth phase, with securities and insurance business driving solid top line as profitability improved through cost efficiency gains.
콘텐츠 부분의 경우 지난 실적 발표 컨퍼런스 콜에서 이미 언급드린 것처럼 실적 최저점은 이미 지나간 것을 확인했습니다. 특히 피코마 같은 경우는 지난해 시장 전반의 경쟁 심화에 대응하기 위한 공격적인 마케팅 캠페인 대비 올해에는 주요 신작과 유저 리텐션에 집중한 선별적인 마케팅 전략이 큰 효과를 거두면서 매출에는 제한적인 영향이 있었던 반면 이익은 큰 폭으로 증가했습니다. SM 엔터테인먼트 같은 경우에는 앨범과 MD를 중심으로 고마진 사업 매출 비중이 개선되면서 이 기여도를 높여왔습니다. 한편 그 당분기 지여유의 연결 편입을 제외하고는 영업이익에서 주목할 만한 일회성 요인을 발견하지 못했습니다. 참고로 그 지여유의 연결 대상 그 법인 편입에 따른 2분기의 일회성 손익 효과는 22억 수준입니다.
Now, for content, as mentioned last time, we confirmed that the bottom is behind us. For Piccoma, last year, we responded to deepening market competition with proactive marketing campaign, while this year, the focus was on using selective marketing strategy, supporting new titles and user retention. This was very effective as the impact on revenue was limited, while profit increase was sizable. From SM Entertainment, high margin business mix improved, which are album and MD business, making greater contribution to our bottom line, the profit. And in terms of the one-offs, except for DRU consolidation, there were no other meaningful one-off factors. Just for your information, the impact from DRU consolidation in Q2 income account accounted for 2.2 billion won.
예, 이어서 하반기 실적 전망에 대해서도 간략히 좀 말씀을 드리겠습니다. 상반기까지는 앞서 말씀드린 대로 비용 효율화에 집중해 각 사업의 수익성을 높이고 안정적인 재무 구조를 마련한 만큼 하반기에는 매출 성장 재가속을 핵심 목표로 설정하고자 합니다.
Now, moving on to the second half outlook, just very briefly. As we have mentioned, we really focused on optimizing our cost base during the first half of the year. So as we have been able to drive our profitability from each of our business supported by stable financial structure, we want to set re-acceleration of our top line revenue as our core target for the second half of the year.
카카오그룹은 지난해부터 카카오톡과 AI를 카카오의 핵심 사업으로 정의하여 다양한 이니셔티브들을 추진해 왔고 이번 3분기부터는 핵심 사업의 중장기 성장 곡선을 결정하는 여러 가지 주요 신규 서비스들을 차례대로 공개할 예정입니다. 이에 따라 안정적인 서비스 개발과 운영을 위해 인프라를 포함한 캐펙스 투자도 확대해 나갈 예정입니다. 서비스 출시 전까지는 톡 비즈에서 다소 완만한 실적 개선 흐름이 나타나겠지만 4분기부터는 신규 서비스의 재무 성과가 가시화되면서 성장 모멘텀이 본격적으로 강화될 예정입니다.
So since last year at the Kakao Group, we've identified as our key core business pillars as Kakao Talk and AI, and we've been undertaking various different initiatives. Basically, also, as we move into this third quarter, we will be unveiling in sequence many different types of new services, which will be critical to defining the mid to longer term growth curve for the company. And also, therefore, we will continuously expand on CapEx investment, which includes infrastructure, so that we will have a steady base of operations for service development. And also, before the timing of the new service rollout, we expect that TalkBiz is going to show a moderate improvement. But as we enter into the fourth quarter, the financial results will start to materialize and we will be able to see our growth momentum come under a full swing.
톡비즈를 제외한 플랫폼과 콘텐츠 부문의 경우 이번 2분기에 확인한 견조한 바텀 라인을 기반으로 해서 3분기에도 기존 사업의 성장세가 가속화될 것으로 기대하고 있습니다. 이와 함께 플랫폼 경쟁력 강화와 콘텐츠 IP 포트폴리오 다변화를 위한 전략적 마케팅 투자도 병행해서 중장기 성장을 위한 기반을 더욱 공고히 다져나갈 계획입니다.
Looking at our platform and content business, we were able to see that that we have a very strong bottom line, and based upon that bottom line which we were able to identify in the second quarter, we expect that we will be able to speed up the growth speed of our current existing businesses starting from the third quarter of the year. And also, we will be making strategic marketing investments to diversify our content IP portfolio and further bolster our platform competitiveness, which will help us lay and solidify the foundation for further growth.
따라서 3분기에는 수익성보다는 매출 성장세가 더욱 두드러질 것으로 예측을 하고 있습니다. 다만 4분기부터는 그룹사에서 가장 높은 마진을 보유하고 있는 톡비즈의 성장 가속을 추정하고 있는 만큼 본격적인 수익성 개선도 동반되면서 내년부터는 매출과 이익 모두에서의 균형 있는 성장을 보여드릴 수 있을 것으로 예상하고 있습니다.
So under that backdrop, we expect revenue growth to be more prominent compared to the profitability enhancement. However, we're also projecting a more accelerated growth of our Talk Biz, which actually has the highest margin within the group, starting the Q4. So we will also be seeing improvements in profitability as well as we move into the fourth quarter. Hence, starting next year, we are quite confident that we will be able to share with you more balanced growth across our top line and bottom line as well.
시간 관계상 마지막 질문 받겠습니다.
Yes, due to the time constraint, this will be the last question that we take.
마지막으로 질문해 주실 분은 메리츠 증권의 이효진 님입니다.
The last question will be presented by Hyojin Lee from Meritz Securities. Please go ahead with your question.
네, 질문 기회 감사합니다. 두 가지 질문 드리려고 하는데요. 첫 번째는 연내 이제 피드형 도입과 그다음에 챗GPT와 같은 새로운 톡 서비스 관련해서 말씀을 주셨는데 전반적으로 광고 전략을 좀 공유해 주시면 감사하겠습니다. 특히 어떤 순서로 서비스가 될지 그런 시기에 대한 공유가 가능하다면 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다. 두 번째 질문은 카카오톡이 아무래도 무료 메신저라는 성격이다 보니까 유료 모델보다는 광고 수익 모델이 좀 주요할 것으로 예상이 되는데요. 아무래도 좀 광고 노출이 크게 증가하면서 이용자의 피로도가 좀 증가하지 않겠냐라는 우려도 있는 것 같습니다. 이에 대한 회사의 대책 아니면 어떻게 생각하시는지도 말씀해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
Thank you. Would like to ask you several questions. I have two questions actually. You talked about how you would incorporate the feed type format in your advertisement. So would like to gain some more color on your advertisement strategy. Would like to know if you could share with us also the timeline of the service launches that are being scheduled at this point. And second, because Kakao Talk is a messenger service that where people do not pay for the services that they receive, it's a free messenger service. So I think there should be more interest or more, more interest with regards to the business model or the revenue model for your advertisement business. So if you're boosting your advertisement, they're also concerned that it will further increase the fatigue that the users feel. What is your understanding and how are you going to counter that?
네, 톡 변화 이후의 광고의 성장 전략에 대한 질문을 주셨는데요. 톡 개편 이후에 첫 번째 탭과 오늘 설명드린 세 번째 탭에 피드형 서비스가 도입이 되면서 이용자들의 콘텐츠의 탐색과 발견이 더욱 활발해질 것이라고 생각합니다. 이것의 결과로는 기존 대비 방문의 빈도와 페이지 뷰가 더 크게 증가할 것이라고 예상합니다. 특히 피드형 서비스에서는 스크롤이 무한대로 가능해짐에 따라서 광고 지면이 사용자의 경험을 해치지 않고 대폭 확장될 수 있다고 예상하고 있습니다. 이미 2분기에는 친구 탭의 전면형 광고 상품인 프로필 뷰, 그 뷰의 매출이 전분기 대비 2배 가까이 증가하면서 톡 내 신규 광고 상품에 대한 광고주들의 높은 수요를 확인한 바 있습니다. 그동안 피드형 광고와 동영상 광고 예산이 글로벌 서비스를 중심으로 집행되어 온 점을 고려를 해볼 때 톡 내 피드형 서비스와 쇼폼 서비스가 안착이 된다면 이 중 일부 예산을 카카오로 가져올 수 있다고 기대하고 있습니다.
Yes, responding to your question about our advertisement strategy, since the Kakao Talk renewal, as we brought feed-based service format to the first and the third tab, we're expecting activated content discovery and exploration and search and large increase in number of visits and page views is what we are seeing. And feed format basically allows for unlimited scrolling, so we expect advertisement services to expand significantly as we go forward. Already in the second quarter, Profile Full View, which is a full spread ad product in the Friends tab, saw its revenue go up almost 2 times Q over Q, which showed that there is high demand for new advertisement products inside the Kakao Talk. And considering that advertisers' budget for in-feed ad and video ad went mostly to global services, if Kakao were to fully adopt feed type and short form video ads, we expect to be able to bring part of that budget to Kakao.
9월에 톡 개편을 예정하고 있고 여기에 신규 상품 라인업이 대폭 강화됩니다. 이에 따라서 광고의 계절적 성수기를 맞이하는 4분기에는 그동안 부진했었던 디스플레이 광고 매출의 성장세가 반등하기 시작할 것이라고 전망하고 있습니다. 아직 카카오톡의 이용자 트래픽 대비 국내 광고 시장 내에서의 점유율은 매우 낮은 수준이라고 봅니다. 이는 반대로는 카카오의 광고 사업에서의 성장 잠재력이 충분하다고 해석하고 있습니다. 기존에는 플랫폼의 제한된 구조 안에서 광고 사업에서 방어적인 움직임을 보일 수밖에 없었지만 이번 톡 개편 이후에는 신규 상품들을 공격적으로 출시하면서 그동안 접근이 어려웠던 새로운 광고주 예산을 확보해 나가면서 점유율을 늘려가고자 합니다.
Well, as we've mentioned, the renewal for Kakao Talk is scheduled in September, and we will be bolstering our new ad product lineup. So we expect display ad revenue, which had been quite muted, will start to show a rebound as we move into the fourth quarter with stronger seasonality for advertisement coming up. Now, compared to the overall Kakao Talk user traffic, the market share that we have in the domestic advertisement market is still quite low. So we believe that there is quite a bit of upside growth potential. So far, we've really played within the limited scope of the platform, taking on a quite, defensive approach to advertisement business. But after the Kakao Talk renewal that is upcoming, we're going to be quite aggressive in rolling out new products, and we'll be able to secure the advertisers' budget, which we were unable to do so in the past.
다음으로 사용자 피로도에 대한 우려를 질문으로 주셨습니다. 일부에서는 광고 비즈니스 확장이 이용자 경험을 저해할 수 있다는 우려가 있다고 생각합니다. 그런데 이번에 톡 개편 이후에 광고 사업 전략은 기존에 있었던 단순한 지면을 계속 확대하고 광고의 빈도만 높이는 것이 아니라 피드형 광고 중심으로 전환을 하면서 이용자의 컨텐츠의 소비 흐름에 타겟에 맥락에 자연스럽게 녹아드는 몰입형 광고 경험을 제공하는 것이 핵심입니다. 이는 기존의 배너 광고나 아니면 이용자의 광고 수용성을 높이면서 더 높은 주목도와 효율을 기대할 수 있는 구조이기 때문에 오히려 이용자의 광고 경험은 개선될 수 있다고도 생각합니다.
Now, moving on to your question about the possible fatigue, the user fatigue with more expanded advertisement. I do understand that some people may raise that issue as we expand on our advertisement business, that it may undermine users' experience. But if you look at the advertisement business strategy that we are implementing, it is not just simply about increasing the advertisement slots or services or increasing the ad frequency. We're basically seeking to transform towards a feed-based advertisement format, which means that we will be providing a more immersive ad experience, naturally merging with the content consumption that is initiated by the users. So compared to banner advertisement, this is a form that's going to further enhance users' advertisement acceptance. It's a structure that we can look towards better efficiency as well. So we think that it could actually improve on the advertisement experience of the users.
피드형이나 동영상 기반 광고 상품으로 라인업을 확대해 나가면서 신규 광고주의 유입이 확대되고 그리고 톡 내에서 이용자가 접하는 광고주와 콘텐츠의 종류는 더욱 다양해질 것이라고 생각합니다. 사용자들은 자신에게 더욱 관련성 높은 광고 콘텐츠를 경험하게 되고 광고주는 이를 통해서 효율 개선 효과를 기대할 수 있어서 플랫폼 전반에 걸쳐서 긍정적인 선순환 효과가 형성될 것으로 전망하고 있습니다. 더 나아가서 카카오톡은 이제는 목적성뿐만 아니라 사용자의 빈 시간을 점유해 나갈 수 있기 때문에 이 광고의 삽입이 더욱더 이용자의 경험에는 개선으로 작용할 수 있다고 생각합니다.
So as we introduce the feed type and video advertisement, and as we diversify into different ad product lineup, we will be able to attract more advertisers, and there will be more diverse array of advertisements that users will be able to view from the advertisements that the advertisers offer and the content that is being offered. So, which means that the users will find these contents more relevant, and also from the advertiser's perspective, they can improve on the ad efficiency as well. So this will eventually create a virtual cycle across the entire platform. And also, this means that from KakaoTalk's perspective, rather than just providing a purposeful, modes of usage, we will now be able to also allow the users to spend their idle time on viewing these different types of advertisements. So I believe that by having such additional advertisement slots will rather enhance user experience. Thank you.